машину на выезд.
Что там такое?
Танечка, иди сюда быстрее, нас атомная горит. Ой, мать. Алло, это ВПЧ-2?
Да.
Что у вас там горит?
Взрыв на главном корпусе, между третьим и четвертым.
А там люди есть?
Да.
И люди есть, да?
Да.
И в результате взрыва что там горит?
Отметка 12. На отметке плюс 12, седьмая машина.
Сколько машин вы направили?
Все машины выяснили. Поднимай над состав. Поднимаю, начальника поднял. Так всех, весь офицерский состав, офицерский корпус поднимай.
On April 26, 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine experienced one of the most devastating nuclear accidents in history. The explosion and subsequent meltdown at Reactor 4 released massive amounts of radioactive material into the environment, with catastrophic consequences that continue to be felt today. But what is the cause? The Chernobyl disaster was primarily caused by a combination of flawed reactor design and human error during a safety test. The RBMK-type reactor used at Chernobyl had inherent design flaws that made it unstable at low power levels. Despite repeated warnings, the operators decided to disable key safety systems in an attempt to see how the reactor would perform during a power outage simulation. This decision ultimately led to an uncontrolled reaction, a series of explosions, and the complete destruction of the reactor core. How far it goes? The explosion and fire at Chernobyl released an estimated 5% of the radioactive core material into the atmosphere. This radioactive plume spread not only across Ukraine, but also reached neighboring countries, including Belarus and parts of Europe. The official death toll from the initial explosion and acute radiation sickness was around 30 people. However, the long-term health effects have been staggering, with thousands of additional deaths attributed to radiation-induced cancers and other illnesses. What is the impact? The nearby town of Pripyat, home to over 50,000 people, was immediately evacuated, and the surrounding area became a radioactive wasteland. Residents were forced to abandon their homes, belongings, and livelihoods, many of them suffering from acute radiation sickness. The psychological trauma of the event has had lasting impacts on the local population, with increased rates of depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. The radioactive fallout from Chernobyl had devastating effects on the health and environment of the affected regions. Radiation exposure led to increased rates of thyroid cancer, especially among children. The elephant's foot, a highly radioactive lava-like formation in the reactor, remains one of the most dangerous places on Earth, emitting lethal levels of radiation that can be fatal within minutes. Despite the scale of the disaster, the actions of 3 individuals helped prevent an even greater catastrophe. Valery Legasov, a nuclear physicist, Boris Sherbina, a high-ranking government official, and Ulana Komyuk, a nuclear physicist, worked tirelessly to understand the extent of the damage and take measures to contain the radiation. Their efforts, including closing the water pipe that could have contaminated Europe, were crucial in minimizing the impact of the disaster. The Chernobyl disaster has been the subject of numerous films and documentaries, each offering a unique perspective on this harrowing event. Some notable examples include Chernobyl, 2019 TV miniseries, a critically acclaimed dramatized account of the disaster and its aftermath. Chernobyl, The Lost Tapes, 2021 documentary, a powerful documentary that utilizes archival footage to provide a first-hand account of the disaster. Voices from Chernobyl, 2015 documentary, an emotional exploration of the personal stories and experiences of those affected by the disaster. Thank you for watching this story. I'll see you in the next video. Tell me in the comments what history you want me to cover next. Until then, goodbye.